So, in a recent study, David C. Barker of the University of Pittsburgh and David H. Bierce of the University of Colorado found that belief in the biblical end times was a motivating factor in actively resisting efforts to control climate change. Now, this study was based on data from the 2007 Cooperative Congressional Election Study. This data showed that the belief in the second coming of Jesus reduced the probability of strongly supporting government action on climate change by 12%. And that's when controlling for a number of demographic factors and cultural factors. When you added in party affiliation, political ideology, and the distrust of the media, when they were removed from the analysis, those different factors, belief in the second coming increased the effect by almost 20%. In a study, Barker and Bierce wrote that, quote, "The fact that such an overwhelming percentage of Republican citizens profess a belief in the second coming, and that 76% in 2006, according to their sample, suggests that government attempts to curb greenhouse emissions would encounter stiff resistance, even if every Democrat in the country wanted to curb them." Now think about this. This was back in 2006. And notice after 2010, when Republicans gained major control of the House, the numbers are even worse. Also keep in mind that 1 in 5 Republicans think Obama is the Antichrist. I'm not kidding you. Okay? And that's according by the left-leaning public policy polling. That the same poll, which was released in April, coincides with another poll or another survey conducted by the Pew Research Center. And that survey found that about half of American Christians think Jesus will definitely or probably come back to Earth within the next 40 years. Barker and Bierce explained that, quote, "It stands to reason that most non-believers would support preserving the Earth for future generations, but that end-time believers would rationally perceive such efforts to be ultimately futile and hence ill-advised." Because apparently, who gives a fuck about our planet? Especially when there's money to be made, right, guys? Right, Republicans? Republican John Shimkus of Illinois said in 2010 that he opposed action on climate change because, quote, "the Earth will end only when God declares it to be over." Shimkus is the chairman of the Subcommittee on Environment and the Economy. Great. You know, like I said, who cares about the planet when there's money to be made? The study also suggests that it's not likely that the United States will ever take action on climate change while so many Americans believe in the end times. Add to that people like Paul Brune, or Brown, whatever, that sit on the science committee that are anti-evolution and anti-climate change. Ralph Hall of Texas, Jim Sensenbrenner, Republican of California, the now famous Todd Akin of Missouri that lost his election after showing his ignorance on basic biology. Those are the people that are in high positions in our government that are ignoring the very real implications of climate change. As this is important because just recently we've reached a milestone of having 400 ppm, carbon has reached 400 ppm in the atmosphere. And it's on its way within the next few decades to hit 450.